What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Get over to our morning live stream channel. Let me get my chat open. And let's get the screen sharing started. Do. All right. Uh, that's cool. Go live. What's up, Navy Plum? Good morning to you. What's up, Eric? Elizabeth? Falpor. Man, that takes me back to the never ending story days. What's up, Falcor? What's up, PJ? Satoru? What's up, buddy? Good to see everybody this morning. Let me do a quick announcement over here in the chats. Let everybody know what is up, that we are live and direct. I'm going to talk a little bit about ES and where things are sitting from a market standpoint. Going to do some trade plan recaps from Sunday's member selected tickers. Most of those seem to be playing out quite well. What's up, PJ? Good morning to you. What's up, StockSci, RB? Good to see y'all popping in here. Let me, like I said, let me get this announcement out into the options chat. Live stream is up. Come join us. Everyone. Let's let everyone know. All right. It's the main options chat, main stock chat. All right, back to the live stream. Okay, what's Marino? I'm gonna go with Mary. We're just gonna go with Mary for short. What's up, Trader Dave? What's up, BN? Burperry? I feel like that's a new color. What's up, Andy? All right, so let's talk a little bit. Sorry, let me get my indicators back on here. Let's talk a little bit about where things are sitting at, how we're moving here from a ES perspective. What's up, Andy? Hello to you. Good morning. For those of you who are first time joining us, just a quick reminder, there is like a little word bubble icon top right hand of your screen. If you're here in the live stream channel, that's how you open the chat section. That's how you can type me fun little messages, and more importantly, your ticker requests, because we will get to doing some trade plans this morning live and on the stream here. But before we get into that, let's do some recaps, kind of talk about where the market's at in general. Also, I'm going to go ahead and drop in the chat for you guys kind of the big economic data points catalyst coming up for the week, or between now and Monday, I should say. It's really kind of how I have it laid out at the moment for the next 7 days. So this is what we have coming up, including is a small sheep in Poland. Marinos, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for joining, man. Yes, no, it's the first one, the first request we've got this morning, so no reason we wouldn't have time for that. What's up, all or nothing? Hopefully the answers I gave you on that options, unusual options activity question you sent me last night was helpful. So let's talk a little bit about where things are sitting at from an ES perspective. Market is chugging right along. Looks really kind of bullish across the board to me. Did lay out a couple of sets of fib extensions. These purple lines here are some higher time frame ones. These are some that I'm kind of testing and keeping my eye on going into today, especially if we kind of hold this back test of this resistance here on the daily chart as support, which would be this 0.236 fib extension off of the base, which is this previous resistance area. Could potentially give us some additional kind of interim targets, shorter term targets, but 49.78 going to be a very interesting level to see what happens there when we test it. If we get over that, I don't see a whole lot stopping us from breaching 5,000, which is going to be a psychological level. And then through that, I mean, it really kind of gets interesting, and room to the upside opens up. I've 4 weeks now had people asking me if it's a good time to get into puts. The answer is still pretty clearly no. The trend is your friend. I would continue to look to buy the dip, especially as long as this 48, 44 what's that, 48, yeah, 42.50 level down here. As long as this holds, I don't expect too big of a pullback. I mean, could you try to time a top at some point here? Yeah. If you put hedges in, or put puts in place as hedges with an overall exposure to the upside being your heavier position, fine with that too, at the right times. But I say this a lot, just be very careful trying to anticipate or time these moves on the market. Wait for confirmation. I would much rather miss, a percentage of a corrective move while I wait for some kind of trend or significant moving average or something to give way before I try to short what is overall a very strong looking market at the moment, versus, taking a bath on trying to get puts, prematurely. So anyway, things looking very strong. Still having to kind of project where we're going to find resistances or having to use much smaller time frames. Let's just take a look at things on the hourly here. Yeah, I mean, 200 back over the 333. Those are both curling up. Neptune's been full bullish on the hourly here since the 18th, with maybe one little slight pullback in this range. But again, Neptune catching the buying pressure exactly where it should have, and ultimately pushing things higher out of that buy zone. So yeah, not surprised at all. This still looks very strong, and again, everything's back to full bull mode here. Gosh, let me get my words out. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on things. I will continue to sort of give you guys my input on these, on what the market's doing, as best I can. But again, remember that we're in uncharted territory right now, and so that certainly makes it a little bit more challenging, especially for price action, support, resistance traders such as myself. We really have to work with some sort of more advanced tools and use things like fib extensions to try to project where we're going to find resistances that have never been tested. So again, 49, 78, 50, 5,000 psychological on ES, both very interesting levels to me at the moment for upside targets. If you are continuing to ride this to the upside, established a new demand just underneath us. Again, everything looking quite strong, possibly back testing this support area for maybe this resistance back here as support if this fib extension holds up. So we'll see, but overall, again, looking very strong. I would again continue to focus on finding the right opportunities to buy the dip, until some significant structure changes in the market. So let's get to some of our trade plan recaps. These are the member selected tickers that I try to do every weekend. There are weekends where I have a lot going on and I just know I won't have time, so I'm not going to make you guys go through the process of voting for tickers if I know damn well I'm not going to be able to actually do anything with those votes. A little coffee break there. But these are the member selected tickers from, what's up, Chris? Good to see you in the mix. Saw you popping in here. Let's see who else has joined us. Rock, I'm going to guess that's saying Rockstar. What's up, Chris? I'm guessing it's Peanut Butter, something like that. What's up, Peanut? We'll go with Peanut. What's up, Kevin? Harry, Drew. I said, what's up, Elizabeth? Big Money, Bell, Alchemy with the coolest avatar in the group right now. All right, so yeah, let's talk about these member selected tickers from over the weekend, see how our trade plans have played out. Again, as we always say, plan your trades, trade your plans, right? So looking at Tesla, our trade plan for this one, I think this was the ticker that had the most votes over the weekend. We had a call entry over 186.89 resistance. We tested that shortly after market open yesterday, promptly rejected, but overall stayed on the bullish side of the plan between the bullish stop loss. Eventually we did break over, didn't get a full touch back test, but certainly within a reasonable range of calling this, I would say, a good back test of what was resistance as support, not only here, but also a quick one right here after we broke over, back test, second back test, again in the buying pressure here on Neptune, ultimately hitting PT1 there after hours, and now getting very close to, in fact, I'd call that within a reasonable range of PT2, so I would call that PT2 hit. Make sure to scale out for some profits here going into the open if you are riding this Tesla plan. I do like this support confluence coming up underneath here at 193.97 with the 100 SMA. Gonna add some confluence here on the 5-minute. Certainly would move stops up to PT1 there at 192.10. So yeah, congrats. Hope you guys are following this one. Again, I don't personally trade Tesla options, but I will buy some shares of Tesla and Tesla based tickers at the right opportunities. So again, if you're trading options on this one, you should be absolutely crushing it. Congrats on that. Apple, this one played out to the downside. So we've got one to the upside, one to the downside, both targets hit. So Apple, kind of a very quick move, right? Break below, back test, and within one 5-minute candle down to PT1, bounced, back testing the put entry as resistance and back testing the put stop loss level as resistance, ultimately rejecting and breaking back below the put entry going into this morning's open. So could potentially see another test of PT1 and possibly lower for Apple. We'll be interested to see how that affects the market. But yeah, overall, one target hit and potential re-entry opportunities really is what I'm seeing on Apple for a continuation to the downside. 200 below the 333, everything trending to the downside. Continues to look a little bit bearish as long as it stays below what 191.96. Over that, potentially looks interesting for some upside. So keep an eye on Apple. And then AMD, yeah, I checked this one this morning. Really kind of nothing happening yet as far as the trade plan goes. Neither the put or call entry levels have been breached. Overall, holding the 333 SMA here on the 15-minute very nicely. Good support showing there. Coming to test that with some confluence here at 176.49. So AMD potential buy the dip opportunity as long as this area of support holds going into open. I'd say if we open below 176, not really so much the same buy the dip opportunity, but if we hold 176 going into the open, yeah, could be a good buy the dip opportunity. Still looks like better confirmation. In fact, Neptune's now really perfectly lining up the heavy selling pressure with our call entry there at 181. So potentially an opportunity between 178 and 181 to play that range to the upside. But again, safer confirmation, wait for that call entry to break. Possible by the dip opportunity near the open if we hold 176 going into the open. So those are our trade plan recaps. Let's get to some of these new trade plan requests that you guys have put in the chat for me, and welcome to everybody who's joined since we got the ball rolling here this morning. I appreciate you guys being here with me. So first one I got was from PJ for snow. And again, don't forget, we do have jolts after market open today. So 10 o'clock, we do have a pretty significant catalyst. Could see a little bit of chop first 30 minutes of the day until that happens. Then we get Fed data tomorrow with the interest rate decision and press conference. Manufacturing index on Thursday, non-farm payrolls Friday. So those are your catalysts coming up throughout this week as far as the big ones. There are, of course, others in the mix there, but those are your heavyweight catalysts for the week. All right, so let's take a look at snow. Not one that I know I have charted it. I know we've looked at this in the past, but not one I've personally traded much or charted a whole lot. So not super familiar with it. Looks like most of my heaviest charting on it was kind of down in the depths here of the lows for snow. Just cleaning up some of this old stuff real quick. All right, that looks pretty good. So the question is how, I've got what look like quite a few levels on here. So let's take a look, see how they're playing out so far. It's been quite a while since I've looked at snow. There's definitely some support resistances in this range that I have not mapped out yet. So let's take a quick look at this on some higher time frames first before I go. And just real quick, price action only. Yeah, there's a daily level sitting right here that I don't have. I wonder how significant this, what looks to be a 2-hour level, really is based on that daily level sitting right there. I'm not seeing a lot of clean tests of it either. I'm gonna do away with that. Potential another level sitting right here too, actually. Let's take a quick look at this back here. Yeah, it's sitting right about there. Interesting amount of support built up around this level. One thing I'm not really seeing, still not seeing, not gonna see, really seeing any clean resistance. Definitely something sitting around here, but I don't think it's a daily level, so keep an eye on this for a minute. Let's see what else we got. Potential for a ascending trend line. Yeah, really kind of built up back there. The overall held pretty clean on that test. A little bit of a print below, but not too crazy. Maybe a little bit of a stop hunt or bear trap down there. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent trend to watch, to be perfectly honest. Could also have one, looks like maybe overhead here. Yeah. So a little bit of a channel, really, working here on snow. It is tightening a little bit, but not so much that I would call it really much of a wedge or anything like that. All right. Take a look at this on some smaller time frames. Yeah, there's my, what I thought. This is going to be a 4-hour level. Yeah. There's something sitting right here. This is a little bit iffy. Do I have anything else that'll help me here? Yeah, I think there's enough there. Call that a 4-hour level. All right, let's see where that puts us. I think that probably puts us in pretty good shape, actually. All right, so Riot if possible. Yeah, sure. Take a look at, well, we'll try to. Or at the very least, feel free to ping me on that one on the side, Chris, because I personally have a pretty decent position in Riot with a pretty low net cost per share at this point. Okay. But yeah, that's one that I'm holding for a while. I think crypto is gearing up for another run. All right. Whoops. That's why it slipped a little off. It's like that seems slow. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, running right up into some selling pressure. clean rejection off this weekly level. It's been there for a while. Let's see how this looks if we break over 215.05. Wonder if that really opens up good room to the upside is kind of what I'm thinking or expecting to see, but let's see. Here we go. Yeah, at the very least up to that daily level, which is about what I was anticipating, which I think gives us a decent setup that looks like this based on current price action. I know that's not on the chart at the moment, but I was already kind of eyeballing these levels like this. This is just giving me the price action and confirmation I need to go for it. There's also a gap that needs to fill to the upside that I don't have charted yet. We rejected the gap entry once. I'll be surprised if we don't take a shot at filling it on this go around. So I think that's going to be our second price target. Gap entries right about here. So clean rejection off that. Last time we came anywhere near that, and haven't been in this range since April of 2022. Over that, I think we're looking at this next weekly level to the upside. That's your upside part of this trade plan. Downside, I also wonder, take another look at this 211.61 level real quick. I wonder if this maybe could be given a little bit more room on that stop loss. Saw some quick tests of this, but not really anything. Yeah, I was kind of eyeballing where we were seeing some rejections. I'll bet you it's right about here, actually. Let's see if that's gonna hit these recent candles where I think it's going to. I think it will. Yep. Right where we're finding this resistance here pre-market. So I'm actually going to make an adjustment to this. I'll expect this resistance to act as support if we can break over 215.05. Also, then gives us, and I was already looking at this, based on what I just saw a second ago, kind of making mental notes as I go through the motions here. I think that opens up that downside to there. Potential to catch this trend line. Otherwise, I'd shoot for 190.107, but that trend, if it drops quick enough, could definitely be at PT1, but potentially if we use 193.68 as PT2, could have some confluence with this trend line. So I think that's a smart spot to go ahead and take profit there. Although, again, I think really without that trend line, it's probably 191.07. Below that, yeah, I like this 188.51 third price target. So these are your snow upside and downside trade plans. Let's get this tightened up. So, just to recap this real quick for you guys, what we're looking for here on snow is a break over 215.05 to play for continuation to the upside. That should give us targets at 220.50, 225.83, and 230.58 with a stop loss average down at 210.29. To the downside, I'd be looking for a break below 205.39 with a first target at 197.32. I wouldn't begrudge you from taking some profit somewhere around this 210 level. So I'll throw that out there for those listening and paying attention. Mark that on your charts, 200 flat, essentially. Keep that on watch. Still gives us a good risk reward to the downside, but ultimately I think it could stretch closer to this confluence down here at 197.32. Below that, targets at 193.68 and 188.51. Sharing a stop loss with that upside trade plan there at 210.29. That is your Snow trade plan. All right, what was the next one we had? Morning, SQQQ. So Tesla and Apple, we've got trade plans from the weekend for all or nothing, and we did do a quick recap on those earlier. Again, Tesla, take profit at open. 2 opportunities to get to calls from the trade plan from over the weekend. This one's still in play, so I don't think it makes sense to add a new trade plan. Apple continuing to test downside targets and back testing with confluence now below 190.104 as resistance. As long as we're below 190.104, I do like puts for the downside continuation, and then just play the plan using the stop loss, price targets, etc. Try to get your entry as close to 190.104 as you can. All right, so SQQQ, that's an interesting request. This is the QQQ like short. Ticker. So essentially, as QQQ goes down, this goes up. As QQQ goes up, this goes down. Also, probably a bit of a decaying asset because it's got to be, I would imagine that it's using some kind of, well, it's not leveraged. So it could potentially be just short shares. But where I was going with that as concern being is A, it probably makes it a decaying asset, would be my guess, and B, market's designed to go up, so this thing's technically designed to go down until they eventually probably reverse split or whatever. What's the volume like on this? Yeah, I mean, the volume's good. Volume's massive, actually. Yeah, but I think we're gonna like the extension to the downside. Yeah, we would definitely have to. Man, I don't want to turn down anybody's request, but this is gonna be a weird one. I don't know how actionable it's gonna be. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking through and taking a quick look at this to see if maybe there is a little bit of a plan we could pull together on this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. It does decay over time. God, it makes this such a tricky one. It does have huge volume though, and it does move. Let's take a look at what the range was like yesterday, just out of curiosity. I mean, yeah, I mean, even on a big moving day for the markets to the upside, this is making like a 50-cent move. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we're spinning our wheels. This isn't going to be a very productive use of our time. I hate to begrudge, anybody executing a plan on their ticker request, but I just think that there's probably better places to put our focus this morning. So my apologies. I've really, nothing wrong with SQQQ at all. It's just, it's certainly not something we could trade options on. And I think when we're doing these live streams, I prefer to focus on things that we can not only trade as potentially shares, but as options as well. All right, so what was the rest? A and C. Man, that's one I haven't heard in a long time. Golly. And this like reverse split back up to like what, like $15 or $11 or something, is back below 4 and some change. Yeah, this is another one where I'm just like, I don't know. Let's take a look at PayPal. We'll do that one for all or nothing. Coincidentally, actually running back through an existing trade plan. We did, yeah, I was going to say PayPal sounds familiar. We did it member selected tickers weekend before last, so we had a trade plan in place for it last week. Went up and hit PT1, came all the way down to the put entry / 200 SMA, bounce all the way back to the put, or sorry, call, average down, broke below up to the put, average down, and hard rejection when they had that game-changing press conference or news event or whatever that was like a pre-recorded nothing burger. A lot of hype over a lot of nothing, really. So how is this one setting up to move forward, though? I could see it working out like this. With an entry back over what was our put stop loss average down there at 64.20, where we rejected from into this downward move. We can break through that, so in other words, a full retracement would really close the fair value gap on this thing. So if it does continue up, I think bulls are here to stay for a little bit. I think our stop loss is a little bit tighter, though. I think it's down here around, I don't know. I'd say give it that full 63.45 benefit. So we're kind of essentially flipping, right, these previous key levels from that trade plan into key resistance to break, which kind of how it was situated back then, but flipping this to now call entry plan for the upside, which should give us a first target, I think, up here at 65.01. Second target up here at 65.66. And a third target, I'd say up here at this previous stop loss average down at 66.40. So that's the upside plan. Let's just make sure that it's going to be close. I think we're going to be right at 1-to-1. Risk reward on our... Yep. Just barely over 1-to-1, but acceptable. Risk reward up to that first price target. Overall, 3-to-1 risk reward on that trade plan. Downside, where does that really look interesting again? Yeah, I'm kind of eyeballing this little rounded bottom and then a breakover back test reclaiming that level here. This could definitely wind up being a good put entry. One thing I don't, well, although this is going to shift some. We're on the 15-minute. Look at this on the hourly real quick. Yeah, I think we're okay with how that's set up now. Question again, I think we're also, again, looking at pretty much a flat 1-to-1 risk reward. Just below, just underneath it. Make sure I've got this really dialed in there. So let me see if I can. There is an interesting resistance support flip right here. Let's see if this is an actual level that we could use. Yeah, I think it is actually. Just don't have it charted yet. Certainly how I would adjust this plan within reason using the chart, not just skewing risk reward to make it work. I think we can make that adjustment be based on technical analysis and still have us in good shape for this trade plan. I might also have this 6171 level might be a little bit off. Yeah, I think it sits a little bit higher. 6178. Question is though, may also have an hourly level down here. I don't currently have on the chart. Yeah, for sure. So I think I think we can kind of open this one up a little bit. Play for these two targets. Let's see how this looks. Make sure I'm not just blowing smoke on my own butt. I don't know. I think that's being a little bit greedy. We do have a weekly level here. It was kind of very wishy-washy throughout this price action. I do see a nice, though, break above and back test during market hours off of that as support. Yeah, I think we're being a little bit too greedy shooting for that second price target that low. That could be an interesting level to watch, even though, again, in this recent test, didn't really do a whole heck of a lot. Still be mindful of it. And then, yeah, I think that's our third price target, so winds up looking more like this, actually. We gotta have to give this one some room to the upside. Some room to work playing it to the upside. There's also potential for, gosh, I guess there could be an earlier entry, but I'd rather have that extra confirmation. Yeah, especially where Neptune's sitting kind of on a couple of these time frames. Also like that we've got the 333 down there near that 6142, so I think it's smart change of that second price target to that level. We've got a confluence very near that. So PayPal, a little bit all over the place here recently, but this is what our trade plans look like for it. So for PayPal, what we're looking for here is a break over 64.20. That should give us price targets at 65.01, 65.66, and then 66.40, with a stop loss average down at 63.45. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 62.80, with targets at 62.19, 61.42, and 60.80. With a stop loss average down at 63.27. Those are your PayPal trade plans to the upside and the downside. We are about 20 minutes out from market open. I'm going to take a little bit of extra time this morning, especially given that SPY just printed new all-time highs pretty strongly going into the close yesterday, to put some extra time into the SPY plan, which will be in the options watch list here in the next hopefully 20 minutes. But I want to take some extra time to kind of revisit my fib extensions and check some things out to make sure that even if we're kind of having to make some educated guesses, that our plan is well thought out as far as that SPY plan goes. I want to keep that win rate in the 80+% column on it. So gonna wrap it up with that PayPal trade plan for today, but we will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I certainly hope you guys will come back and join me then. So with that, as we always say here on the FOMO live stream, plan your trades, trade your plans, go out there and get some green. I will see you guys in the chat. Have yourself a fantastic day. Good luck. See you back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you.